Happy Monday, guys. So I had this kind of like message coming through, so I was like, well, let me go live and talk about it. So this week, for whatever reason, is about the throat chakra. There's something about like kind of owning what we want, like, sorry, something came up on my phone, but like owning what we want, really speaking what we want and not feeling bad or embarrassed or shameful or guiltful about what it is that we want, what we feel we need. So kind of in the context of like perhaps the last few weeks you've been trying to go after these goals, you know, and like have these goals in mind and trying to do them. And there's, you know, we can pursue them, but if we don't feel like we're worthy of them, or if we don't feel like it's okay to want them, then there's a little bit of a clash. And this week is bringing that up. It's like, it's kind of like an F it, you know, type of week where we're saying like, hi guys, where we're saying, you know what, this is what I want. I don't care like what other people think. I don't care if it's not like what other people want, but like, this is what I want. I deserve what I want, and I'm worthy of what I want. So that has everything to do with here, with the throat, and really speaking up and coming out and just basically speaking our truth about the desires that we really have and feeling okay with wanting them. So it really just kind of reminds me of like owning them. Hi. It reminds me of just owning that desire, and that's really what this week's about. And it's going to give like an extra kind of motivation to those beginning of the year goals, where, you know, we can go and do the steps, but if we don't feel like we deserve them or that we're worthy of them, it's hard to make them manifest and come into fruition. So, you know, asking yourself, like, where do I feel shameful for what I want? Like, can I own a little bit more of like what I want? Can I can I want what I want without having to answer to anybody, and to really speak up about those things and to feel comfortable asking for what you need? So if you need something, I'm just checking to see if there's any questions. So if you feel like you need something and it's going to involve other people, like to not feel embarrassed or not to feel shameful or guilty for needing something from somebody, and making sure that you're speaking that. So this week's going to be a lot about communicating, even if it feels uncomfortable to like, because sometimes there's those people that like we need help from, or we need to communicate something to them, and they are not always super receptive, or they make it like hard for us to ask for help or questions. So even if that's the case, like still having to go through that process and know that like at the end of the day, what's the worst that can happen? So it's really a week about speaking up, about owning what we want, like being okay with what we want. Let me see your question. How do we keep people from getting in the way of our happiness in a kind and loving manner? I mean, that's a good question. So, you know, the truth is that, you know, people will tell you, well, like, you know, nobody can get in your way, right? Like we always have choices and things like that. But then there's tons of people in our lives that, you know, we can't just divorce or get rid of, and just say like, I'm not talking to this person anymore. Sometimes they're like really, it might be a coworker or a boss or a family member that we just can't get rid of. So you want to be able to understand that the more we put focus on that other person not giving us what we want, the more we give them power. So we have to kind of look at ourselves and be like, well, what can I do to still get what I, you know, like do what I, you know, whatever I need to do in order to be happy without letting them get into my space. So I think a lot of times we give focus to that other person, and we give attention to that other person, and that's what gives them a lot of power over our lives and our own happiness. So I would see if you can shift your focus from these people and shift it more inward to see what you can do yourself, even though these people are going to be around you and everything like that. And there's something about like when we take away that power from these people, they stop acting out. It's funny, like you kind of just, you know, every once in a while they'll come and like bother, but like they just don't have the same amount of power. So, hi guys, let me wave. Hi. Yeah, so they just don't have the same amount of power as when we are like focusing on them. But I know how that is. It's a real thing. What else is going on this Monday? It's nice and sunny over here in Miami. It's like perfect. How do you say? Oh, So is your first name Sophia? Thank you. That was an awesome answer. Catriona. Maybe that's your last name. I don't know. It's a pretty name. Yeah. People getting in the way. And it's not to say that like that's not real, that, you know, like that. It's funny. I actually had a client yesterday who has become like really happy. Like she's changed a lot of things in her life. And her mother has just kind of like not wanted to be around her anymore. And it's true that there are some people that sadly don't want us to be happy. Like when we become happy, like then there's no need for the attachment we have to these negative people. And they like still want to control us. So when they see us getting happy, it's like they lose their control. But I think that really starts with like not giving them any control as it is right now, which our focus them to step in more. Oh, Sophia is one of your middle names. It's beautiful. Yeah. Hey guys. So this week, make sure that you are standing up for what you want. Feel very grounded and knowing that you deserve what you want, because you are a child of the light and everybody deserves their desires. And I really do feel that those desires that we have within us are of divine importance. I do feel that they're part of our soul's path. So if you feel like you want something, if it's a relationship, which is all the work that I do, or is it, a job or a house or whatever, it's part of the path. So don't feel shameful for wanting that thing, and making sure that you're expressing that and you're saying what you want, you're asking for what you want, and really speaking up and showing up as you. All right? Hi, Salah. All right, everybody. I will see you next week, next Monday. Bye.